I love the show at Pirates, but I'm not gonna lie, these guys suck. I'm not talking about them as characters, I'm talking about them as a crew. Luffy's my boy, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, his crew sucks. Cause how are you a Yonko pirate crew and half of your crew members can't even use haki? Basic haki. Don't get me wrong, I love Robin, but she spent 2 years in the Revolutionary Army. How are you telling me after 2 years she didn't learn any basic haki? Robin's zero foot is so busted. Imagine if she could use armament haki with it. And don't get me started on Nami and Usopp. Look, I'm sick and tired of Nami and Usopp being the weaker crew members. And look, I get it, Nami has Zeus, and Zeus is very powerful. But take away her staff, and she's practically useless. If you take away her staff, she has no way of defending herself. She doesn't even have basic haki, not even observation. The only reason why she's relevant is because she's a navigator. And without her, the whole crew would be lost. And Usopp pisses me off the most. The only time Usopp was important in One Piece was during Dressrosa. The only time Usopp was ever cool was during Dressrosa. If Usopp wasn't there during Dressrosa, all of One Piece would have ended. He sucks. And before any of you bring up the fact that Usopp rage baited Emu, it was pretty funny that Usopp rage baited Emu, and it actually worked. But Dressrosa came out in 2013, so which means Usopp's been useless for 13 years. That's how you know he sucks. I'm not gonna lie, Oda has to give Usopp some huge power up because this is just sad. And don't think I forgot about this guy right here. What pisses me off is not the fact that Chopper can't use Haki, it's the fact that his master form sucks now. Because how do you go from this to this, man? Chopper lost all of his aura, man. What is this? Okay, now Frankie, you ain't safe, buddy. I love Frankie, but look, the fact that he can't use Haki, it's what pisses me off. Everything else about him, I love him. If Frankie used Haki, he'd be way more stronger. Especially armament Haki. Brook is tough, especially when he clashed with Big Mom. I feel like Oda's nerfing Brook by not giving him Haki, cause Brook with Haki, that's a threat. The only members in this crew who can use Haki are Jinbei, Sanji, screw Sanji, I'm a Sanji hater, but Sanji can use Haki, Zoro, and obviously the main character himself, Luffy. They're the only ones who can use Haki. That means 4 out of 10 crew members can use Haki. That ratio is bad. And the worst part is if Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, or Jinbei aren't there and the crew has to go up against somebody who uses Haki, they're getting thrashed bad. And they might even die. Even Luffy's Grand Fleet is more useful than half of the Straw Hat Pirates. Cause at least they can use Haki, unlike half of the Straw Hat Pirates. Look, I'm not saying this to hate, because don't get me wrong, I love the Straw Hat Pirates. They're my favorite pirate group. But these guys suck in terms of fighting. I just hope Oda gives them a huge power up, because this is just embarrassing. Especially after the Elbaf arc, these guys need a huge power up. If they want to stand a decent chance, these guys need to power up. Like and follow for more.